I'm legally required to inform you that by clicking on this video, you have consented to having your feelings very, very hurt by me. This is your last chance to leave before I tell you everything in your home that you hold dear that is making me furious. There are 5 major interior design trends right now in 2022 that make me want to surgically remove my eyeballs. And there's a good chance that one of them is in your home. So let's all get ready to cry. This is unpopular opinions about home decor trends that you love and I hate. First of all, I hate tufting. My question is why? And how dare you? Don't ask me to come over. Let's all calm down. I wish there were more beans in this sofa. This is such a racket. What I'm saying is not personal. It's just rude. So the home decor trends that I hate genre of video has been made by pretty much every interior design YouTuber. In my opinion, the best is Paige Benner. Watch her videos if you want to watch a pro tear apart your dearest dreams. But I have avoided it up until this point, and that is because when an interior design client shares their home with me, it's incredibly personal and incredibly vulnerable and a really hard thing to do. It's not just that I don't want to express judgment about it. I genuinely don't feel judgment about it, which is saying a lot because I'm a judgy bitch. I don't feel that judgment generally with interior design because interior design is a creative expression. And creative expression requires experimentation, which must include failure. It must. Failure is an unavoidable part of all creative endeavors. However, when the interior design choices stop being a form of personal expression and start being a massive trend that people are just copying and pasting, and I know it's not personal to them, and also I hate it, then I feel free to tell you about it. If you're new here, I'm Caroline. If you're not new here, hello again. You may notice that I'm very tan right now. I just got back from the beach. That is the explanation for my current melanin levels. Okay, decor trend number 1 that is making me furious. Ooh, I'm gonna break some hearts right now. I warned you, get ready to cry, because a bunch of people watching this video are gonna be real upset. Home decor trend I've always been furious with is the cloud sofa. The restoration hardware cloud sofa that everyone from day one has been lusting over. And from day one, I will say, I've not been a fan. And this is for a very simple reason, because I have sat on couches before. I actually have sat on couches. The restoration hardware couch, take one look at that. It is not comfortable. I know it is not comfortable. So this is a 100% down feather filled couch. That sounds really nice, but I know after sitting on this couch for a long time, it is very hard. It is very uncomfortable. If you disagree, release your fury at me in the comments. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not, but you can try. It's so uncomfortable to sit on long term. Let's say even it is comfortable. Let's say you've got a very special butt situation. You feel most comfortable sitting on rocks. Excellent, great. So you love the sofa. You love how it feels. Every time you stand up from that sofa, it looks like a pile of wrinkles. What I'm saying is not personal. It's just rude. Why spend the time and spending so much money on, I agree, a beautiful looking sofa when it's in like the showroom, beautiful looking, I get that. Why spend all that money if it's never gonna look like that? It's like as soon as you drive it off the lot, it loses all its value. As soon as you sit on it, it looks like trash. Wrinkled and frumpy every time you get up. It's like a giant beanbag chair, but less comfortable. I wish there were more beans in this sofa. This would drive me insane. I'm a little controlling, some would say. I'm a little obsessive about design, but nobody wants to buy a sofa for its looks, bring it home, and then realize it never actually looks that way. This is such a racket. I don't understand how it's still ongoing. More than that, look at this. Half of the configurations for the cloud couch don't have arms on the end. What? I mean, how do you have any sense of security in your life when there's no arm on the end of the sofa? I just assume the people who designed this couch have never sat on a couch before. I can only assume they're not familiar with couch. A lot of them do have arms, but there's options without the arms. And they're not even the only sofa that does this. There's a bunch of like trendy sofas right now, kind of mid-century style, that have no arms. Do not invite me over. Do not invite me over. I don't want to come in. That means I can't lounge. I have to be fully upright and in control of my body at all times. I can't do one of these. Don't ask me to come over. I don't like it. This is the thing. You gotta sit in it. That's all I want to say to this couch creator is like, it's very pretty. It's very pretty. I agree. But I have to sit in it, right? Sometimes for extended periods of time. Okay. Furious. My suggestions for not doing this, not getting this couch, are buy any other couch. Buy pretty much any other couch. I personally like a very firm couch. Personal preference, it's much harder for it to look worn and look like over satin and the cushions to deflate, but I also don't like the feeling of sitting in a really sunken couch. I feel like nobody's helping me. It's like getting out of a bathtub, you know? It's too much work. Just support me. How about that, couch? Just do that. And if it's on the soft end, it's not giving you good support. Like you need good support like any chair. And it also means it's going to like lose its shape and not hold up long-term very well. I don't do it. I'm trying to save you pain by causing you pain now. It's to save you pain later, okay? It's a complicated relationship we have, but you just have to trust me. I care about you. And I want you to have an armrest. Interior design trend number 2 that I could really do without is the wooden beads. What's up with that? What's the deal? You know, never seen them in a home before maybe 2018. And then all of a sudden, we've all decided that we need them and we can't live without them. My question is, why? And how dare you? And why? No one has explained them to me. What are we doing with them? What is the point? Wooden bead porn. That's not what I typed. I said wooden bead decor. Putting them on shelves. Like, what does it mean? What does it mean when I put wooden beads on shelves? I can't say I'm a fan. Why? It's like a new age take on a rosary. They look like some kind of prayer beads. What is this? What is this? Just on a table, giant wooden beads on the table. All I can think when I look at that is like, dang, I gotta move that out of the way every time I wanna put my cup down now. These freaking wooden beads are inhibiting from like living my life and like interacting with my furniture as a normal person. This is so weird to me. Why did we all adopt this? The wooden beads. It's like, and they're always strung about in this real like chill, casual way. Like, I didn't overthink this. My house is so lived in. False. You bought a pair of wooden beads and you don't even know why. Get rid of them. Get out. We can do better. Listen, I encourage you to buy pointless, functionless home decor. Arguably, that's all that art is. But, you know, just make it a little more personal. Try going to a thrift store, going to an antique store, getting on Facebook Marketplace, and just be open to being moved by the spirit. Okay? When you bring home that piece of decor that you're just like naturally drawn to, it's going to bring so much more joy into your everyday because it's like you earned it a little bit. It's got a story now, some kind of like personal connection to you, emotional connection. You went out, you found it. It's not just, oh, I filled up that shelf now with some beads. If I come over to your house and I see beads on your shelf, what are we gonna talk about? What are we gonna talk about? I don't know. Find something unique and everyone will like you more. Controversial item number 3, putting a full sofa in front of your bed. People are doing this. Interior designers, major interior designers, ones that you and I both follow on Instagram, they're putting a full-sized, family-sized sofa at the end of their bed. And everyone's just like, yep, we agree. Everyone's just allowing it. This is so weird looking to me. This makes as much sense to me as putting a bed in front of your sofa. Or putting a sofa in front of your sofa. Why are we just stacking 2 pieces of fully upholstered furniture right on top of each other? Nowhere else in your house are you stacking 2 pieces of furniture end to end like this. It's the wildest thing to me. You know what? Why stop there? Make it a sectional, or let's make it a dining table. Why isn't there a whole table there? I can kind of empathize with how this sort of came to be. We started with, right, putting a bench in front of the bed. And usually a wooden bench or a bench that has some kind of metal, usually not a fully upholstered piece of furniture, because we've got so much upholstery happening on the bed. You usually want to balance that out with another material. The thing is, when we put a bench at the end of the bed, it's really like an accessory to the bed. It's like putting a side table on the end of your couch. It's just like it's a little accessory. But you know what we wouldn't put next to your couch? Bed. I hate this so much. No one has explained to me is what's going on the couch? What's happening on the couch? Do you have 4 small children who all need to watch TV there? If that is the case, fine. Aside from that, what are we doing? What do you think is happening at the end of your bed? You need somewhere comfortable to sit? There's a bed behind you. There's a bed behind you. So we start with the bench. For getting dressed, putting on your socks, putting on your shoes, having a fight with your significant other. Like, we do need a place to sit for that. Let's just not make it a whole living room. It looks like a sled. It just looks like a sleigh ride. We're all just like on a little train, like the Disney World tram. Where are we going? I don't blame anyone for experimenting and for trying this. I blame the world for being like, yeah, that's what we like now. Innovation and experimentation are so important, like in interior design or any art. I hate anytime somebody's like, well, this is the rule. This is the rule, is that your side table has to be this wide. It's like, there's rules, but you can break the rules. Breaking the rules is important. Things evolve. We don't have to do things the way we always did, but there are principles of composition that are constant. Proportions and composition play into every art medium on the face of the earth, in every century and in every style. And just all of a sudden we're like, no, make it a giant couch. Who cares? Putting just like a full-sized centerpiece of furniture next to another full-size centerpiece of furniture, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't like it. I will remind you, these are my personal opinions. They are not the law. I don't make the law. I've just got a YouTube channel. Okay, this is what I'm going to tell you. If you wake up one day and you find yourself thinking, you know what I think would be good at the end of this piece of furniture is another giant piece of furniture, don't do it. Don't do it. Just take a moment. Do a breathing exercise. You'll have crazy thoughts. You don't have to act on it right now. Let's all take a deep breath and never do this again. Thank you. There's other ways. There's other ways. This isn't like, it doesn't have to be this way, okay? Let's skip on the sofa, the full sofa at the end of the bed, okay? It doesn't have to be this way. Duh, this one sucks too. A design trend that everyone's doing. And you know what? I really blame Instagram for this, for so much of like the unrealistic interior design that we're shown all day long. This trend of like too many accessories or accessories in unreasonable places because it looks nice in the photo, but then we see those photos and that's our standard for happiness, and we think that's how other people are able to live. So we're like, me too. I too also need a vase the height of a human on my dining table so that every time I sit down at my dining table, I can't see who's talking to me. This works for no person. I mean, I guess you could sit down and just eat alone and then it's fine, but if you want to have any friends, you immediately have to take the vase off the table. And that's the kind of like unrealistic fake interior design that I can't stand. It's very weird. Why put it out there if no one can live that way? I don't get it. We've got a really nice like desk area, but we've got like a giant empty urn. This pyramid of decorative rattan boxes holds nothing. I promise you that. It's like all in the way. Anytime I want to sit down to work there, I got to move all the stuff out of the way. And that is a way to make sure that every time you sit down to do something functional, you're a little pissed off. Listen, my emotions go from 0 to 60 very quickly, granted, but I would be pissed a little bit every day. So this is what I'm saying about styling. When you're doing your styling items, please don't hold yourself to the standard of Instagram and Pinterest. Like, these are misleading us. I really encourage you to think realistically about how you're functionally using that space. On a lot of coffee tables, if you want to put a vase on that coffee table with flowers or something, it usually has to be a pretty low one. Otherwise, it's like often blocking your view of the TV. That's not going to work. Then you're moving it every time you watch TV. Like, that is not making our lives easier, okay? We don't need that. And this is kind of in line with the wooden beads thing too. the idea of just putting up decor to fill the space. There can be some of that. I don't think that's like the worst thing you can do. I do some of that too. You think I need this doesn't need to be here. I like to, as much as I can, try and accessorize with the items I or a client actually uses. So that's why it is great to put your books out, your candles, decorative storage containers that you actually use. That's why those things are great. You can have lots of stuff going on in your space, but just make sure it's not functionally keeping you from interacting with the space and living in it the way you need to live in it. And to be clear, this is different from maximalism. I'm not negating maximalism as a style. It's not my style, but that's plenty of people's style, and that's fine. I'm talking about when it's accessories and decor that keeps you from using your space the way you need to use it. That's not maximalism. That's a whole different thing. Oh, another version of this is the 4,500 pillows on the bed. Why? Why and why? It's too many. Okay, look at me. Look at me. Sometimes you don't need the extra throw pillow, okay? And everything's gonna be okay without it. I can't. I don't know who is still doing this. And I'll tell you what, I used to violate this rule, and my ex-boyfriend would kind of get annoyed with me about it. And you know what? He was right. He was totally right. So many pillows on the couch that we can't sit on the couch without putting the pillows on the floor. Is that better? I want to say it's not. So many pillows on the bed that we can't get into the bed, or you can't lay down without putting stuff on the floor. I don't think this is a better situation. I'm not about it. It means A, the pillows are going on the floor all the time. B, it takes so much more effort to remake the bed or re-tidy the living room. These are just these little things that we're doing to make our lives harder on ourselves. And it's not necessary. You can have a beautiful arrangement with 1, 2, 3 accent pillows. And let's call it a day. You're cut off. I would love for you to benefit from my years of putting too many damn pillows on my bed. I made that mistake for you so you don't have to. You can just benefit from my experience, okay? If you want more hearing about how I've messed stuff up so that you don't have to, remember to like and subscribe. I do interior design, I do vlogs. They're all basically about how I've massively messed stuff up over and over again until I start figuring it out. I was gonna say something else. We'll never know. Okay, this is a nuanced one. Something I hate. Something I would never ever want in my own home are these super cold, kind of unfamiliar hotel feeling or museum feeling home spaces. This is like a whole genre of interior design. Some of the biggest designers, some of the most famous designers, most influential designers do spaces like this. And I understand they're working for clients on, projects so much bigger, luxury scale projects, and the client probably wants that. But personally, if I was a billionaire, I still wouldn't want to live in a home that feels or looks like a museum, okay? I just hate it. I don't know who would want to live like this. It's we've got a all marble and fur and leather room. It could be cool for a disco, but I don't want to make a midnight snack there or anything. To be in a space that feels so uncozy, so unwelcoming, so unfamiliar. And I just as a piece of art, as an image on Instagram, I do think they're beautiful. I do think they're amazing, and there's inspiration you can pull. But one of the biggest lessons I had to learn through a lot of trial and error was starting to distinguish the difference between images I liked in their 2D version on Instagram versus what I liked to live in my 3D life. There's a difference between what you appreciate online and what actually feels right to live in your home. You might really like the all white kitchens that are super trendy, have been trendy forever. I hope we're over it now. I still like looking at those photos. There's something so pleasing about looking at a kitchen that looks like heaven. God is around the corner making eggs. But to live in it, in an all white room, it's so freaking boring, dude. It's so unstimulating and uninteresting. That's another example. People like the image of the all white, but when you live in it, it's not impressive. It's a snooze fest. So my personal preference is I like to be in really homey, cozy spaces. You're allowed to disagree and to want something different for your home, but just pay attention. If you also feel like you love that cozy, safe feeling, being enveloped by comforting spaces, and you also are aspiring to these super museum, sparse, unwelcoming design images, and you're modeling your home after that, you're gonna be unhappy. There's a mismatch there. So just pay attention to that. And I will say, if you like a cozy space, it gets harder and harder to get a cozy space the bigger your home is. Kind of the fancier it gets harder to hold on to that sense of intimacy. So just something to keep in mind. My opinion is take your inspiration from these spaces, but remember to make your space homey. Someone live here, it kind of creeps me out. You can just feel the silence and feel the absence of humanity in it. If you feel like your room is feeling a little too much like a hotel room or something that's very unlived in, let's get some art on the walls, do your decorative pieces, don't include wooden beads. I bet you just need some pattern mixed in. Pattern is a great way to add like depth and layering and interest into your space. Also adding in just like natural warm materials, especially wood. Wooden accents, furniture is gonna be one of the best, fastest ways to make your home feel familiar and kind of comforting. That's all I have to say. Listen, here's the deal. Ignore the trends. Because if it's a trend, it's only gonna feel good for a certain period of time. And then you're gonna end up wanting to replace it. And that's when interior design gets really expensive because you have to keep updating stuff. What interior design boils down to is just like getting really honest with yourself about like what makes you happy, what feels good. And that takes experimentation. It takes, God forbid, it takes putting a sofa in front of your bed. I don't actually want you to feel bad about it, okay? There's no need, except that it's fun for me to pretend like you should feel bad about it. But don't, you shouldn't feel bad because it's not like a skill you're just born with. Like no baby comes out and is like, let me tell you how to arrange these pillows. No, it's just a skill that you practice. Ultimately, your home should just be something that's a fun expression, not this like, oh my God, I have to figure out like and crack the case of my home decor. Don't approach it like that. That sucks. Let's all calm down. It should be like kind of a playground for experimenting with stuff. If you're experimenting creatively, it means that sometimes you'll do something that somebody hates, and maybe that person will be me, and that's okay. Listen, if you have a sofa in front of your bed as you're watching this movie, it's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Hey, this isn't the end for you. Don't get overwhelmed by interior design. There isn't right and wrong. There's just like truth, and that truth is specific to you. What genuinely like fills your cup, makes you feel energized, puts a smile on your face every time you walk into the room and see it, that's your taste. End of story. It doesn't matter actually what anyone else thinks. Don't let people tell you what you're supposed to do. Don't even listen to me. You know, I just want you to walk away from this video giving yourself the permission to really get in touch with what brightens your day. That's all it's about. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you soon.